All right. This is the last talk of the morning, so we have records to break. Let's break the sound barrier. Give me some noise. No, come on. Let's try this again. Give me some noise. A little bit better. We'll retry at the end. Hey, right now we have Jose, who is a former ethical hacker turned recruitment revolutionary. So as co-founder and chief talent sourcing architect at Google, Jose built one of Europe's fastest growing recruitment companies, ranking 415th on the Financial Times list. He literally wrote the book. I told him I'm going to order it on Amazon as soon as I have some free time in between sessions. So please give a big hand of applause for Jose.
Thank you very much, my pleasure. You will get one for free from me, no problem. Don't order it from Amazon. All right, so I have a lot of slides as usual, so let's dive in. We are with AI already for quite some time. Even if you are not a developer, we know that the Midjourney published the first diffusion model already like 2-3 years ago. After that, ChatGPT. But we can see the evolution there, and even the tools which you maybe start to use in 2 years ago, it evolved to some maybe status quo, which I would describe today, where we can use it and we can actually implement it already, for example, in recruitment on daily basis. First thing, for example, when we are talking about replacing people, we already to some extent replaced a photographer. This is Patrick, some real pictures I downloaded from the internet, and I created for Patrick professional pictures which he can use actually on LinkedIn, for example, or on website. I like the application which is called Remini, for example. But you can do, for example, this as well, of course. Yeah? So even like artificial fake babies, etc. But even with this, we can see that this year, for example, Flux LoRa, a new algorithm, and the realism of the pictures is already even somewhere there. It's going further. We as well sort of replace the photographer. Yeah, I can play a few seconds of this video.
我是一名前道的黑客数字区正审查员和资深 Linux 工程师。他深入。
Yeah. So you can hear my voice, it cloned my voice. I can speak Chinese. I cannot speak Chinese, but in the videos I can speak Chinese. So I can speak any language, and it's possible to do it. And of course, I use it in various purposes, even for recruitment. But this tool, HeyGen, for example, the news from, I would say, like 3 months ago is that you can do even videos which are like third-party views. So you can, for example, create a clone of your hiring manager, and you can create video job descriptions actually without spending his or her time. So it's moving forward, including, for example, interactive avatar, which is the same thing, but I can connect this avatar, for example, to Zoom call. And you bet that, for example, your candidates are using that sometimes. Yeah? So you cannot be sure if the candidate on the call is actually a real one or just artificial intelligence avatar. But even here with the videos, maybe if you heard about Veo 3, Google Veo 3, Midjourney or Higgsfield, the realism in the videos are somewhere else. And this is news from this month or last month practically. Yeah? So we are now able to create videos which you cannot recognize that it's actually AI created. And with podcasts, for example, I like the Google Notebook LM, where I use it not to publish podcasts, but I use it for myself. Yeah? If I have a long article or long study, I put it into Google LM Studio, and it will create engaging podcasts. It will not be just reading the text. It will create a conversation between a man and a woman doing a podcast, and it's a way more engaging way how to absorb content, because I don't have time, for example, to read 20 minutes some article. So maybe it's a question, why hasn't a recruiter been replaced yet too? And we will look at it here. This, unfortunately, it's me, and unfortunately, this is not AI picture, this is for real. When I studied the Faculty of Nuclear Sciences and Physical Engineering, so I'm a former software engineer. I was working as a software engineer for 5 years. But now, as you heard, we are building a company, Good Call, for the past 10 years. We are RPO and embedded recruitment provider. And in this speech, I would like to show you some practical tips and practical strategies why maybe even we are able to deliver these services to companies like Deutsche Telekom, Siemens, or, for example, Microsoft. The book was already mentioned, HR Robo Sapiens. Some of the speakers who spoke here last year, like Hang Lee, etc., actually gave me a testimonial for the book, so I can really recommend it. Recruitment process, when we take a look at the recruitment process, there is probably not a single step where you couldn't use AI in somehow already today. Maybe you use MetaView for automated interview notes or intake notes, right? Or maybe you use some kind of, for example, Copilot, GPT, DeepSeek, etc., to create a list of interviewing questions. Maybe, yeah? Or maybe you use it for, as Ala was showing here, to create a job description, of course. But I divide the level of AI automation into 3 different, let's say, levels. Yeah? Level number 1, Robo Sapiens AI prompts. Yeah? That what was Ala practically showing. I can, for example, use LLM as my buddy, and I maybe want a second opinion. I have a LinkedIn profile or a CV, I have a job description, and I want opinion from AI to tell me 3 reasons if this person actually fits the role or not. Maybe I didn't see something there. Yeah? I overlooked something. So I'm not doing decisions with this AI, but I'm using that as my buddy, which can help me with that. Or, of course, in sourcing, which is sort of my domain, let's say I'm looking for software testers with English and Ukraine. Yeah? So I can not only create a list of synonyms, which is mandatory to do it properly, right? So as you can see here, I have synonyms in English, like software tester, QA tester, quality assurance engineer, etc. And of course, I don't speak Ukrainian, so I have the Ukraine list. But not only that, but I got the Boolean search from that, which I can copy-paste it into LinkedIn and go. Of course, if you are working with this on daily basis, you know that it's not that simple. This search wouldn't work in free version of LinkedIn, but I will tackle that later on. If you are confused, maybe which LLM to use, yeah, you hear DeepSeek, Meta, Llama, etc. You can use, for example, Cabina AI, which is like an aggregator, not only for the textual LLMs, but also for images, videos, and audio. Yeah? So you can put there a prompt, and you can choose which actually LLM to execute the prompt with. The level number 2 is AI assistants. So we are not talking about AI agents, but AI assistants. What can be AI assistant? You can use, for example, totally for free, Google AI Studio, where you can share your screen, and you are sharing your screen to Google, and you are doing something, for example, on the web, maybe on LinkedIn, and you are literally talking to the computer. Hey, computer, I'm looking for people, what should I click on? And it's helping you to say, hey, click on people, put here something. Maybe then you will say, I want people from Berlin. And it will give you like Berlin and Berlin metropolitan area. And you can ask, hey, I got these 2 options. Which one is better, etc. Yeah, so it's literally your buddy, which, of course, you could use literally in the LLM. But the advantage here is that you can talk to it. So it's way quicker, yeah, working with LLMs like that. Another kind of AI assistant might be directly in LinkedIn. When you got the paid version, the highest paid version of LinkedIn, LinkedIn Recruiter, not the light version, but the full one, you can do, for example, the same prompt I put into ChatGPT, I put it here, and it created for me a search. The problem is that I would normally not create a search like that. I would, for example, Selenium as a skill for testers. I wouldn't use it in skills. Yeah, I would put it into keywords. This is limiting my search. Plus, if you go deeper into what actually this is searching for, it's just software tester and senior software tester. I want QA tester, I want QA analyst, I want verification engineer, I want way more. Yeah? So it's doing something, but it's not doing sourcing properly, so we would use it for our needs. That's why, for example, I created in directly in ChatGPT, GPT. Yeah? When you click on Explore GPT, those are like predefined prompts, predefined assistants. So probably for you, if you want to create some assistant, it can be for LinkedIn posts, it can be for various routine tasks. Creating GPT is probably the way to go for you. So for example, my sourcing assistant is doing the thing that I can, for example, click on current title and put there the same prompt I put into LinkedIn or I put into ChatGPT, if you remember. And as you can see, it creates for me the string in a way more in-depth form than actually LinkedIn itself. Plus, as you can see, it created that it is in a little bit different format. There is no space after or, and all the terms are in parentheses. This would actually work in non-paid version of LinkedIn. Yeah, that's the trick, how to make a long Boolean string to be actually functioning in non-paid LinkedIn. So once you click on one of these 3 links, I'm going for current employee, so I click on the first one, I get to LinkedIn, and I got the search already predefined there. So even without, imagine that you are not IT recruiter, and you got software tester, and you want to look for software testers, the AI is almost ultimately putting you on the same level as experienced IT recruiter who would know all of these terms probably from top of his or her head. But you can do it with AI and be there fast as well. I can put there also copy-paste of the JD. So I can copy-paste this German software tester JD like this, and I would get, it would practically get all the requirements and transfer it into Boolean search string. I click on the link, search on LinkedIn, and I get to LinkedIn. Yeah? But the advantage of using these things is that, for example, I don't want just testers who are in Berlin or Leipzig in this case. I want people who are working for automotive companies in Saxony, Germany. Yeah? And AI probably got this knowledge, right? So without doing my own research, without using, for example, LinkedIn database, I can simply ask, do it for me, and it created a list of BMW, Volkswagen, Porsche, etc., and it will put it on top of the already existing search. So once I open LinkedIn, we can see I got one result, just one result, maybe that's him. So this is where we got company right there, we got keywords, and we got location. Of course, I can go further with my agent and, for example, say do it less restrictive. And again, it knows when I, for example, put there some IT role where there is requirement Python and HTML, for example, it knows that probably the less important thing is the HTML. So it will strip the HTML of the Boolean search, and I got a next search where the keywords on top of that are less restrictive, but still relevant. As you can see, suddenly I got not only Johannes, but I got more results there. So I can work with that like this, even without any knowledge of IT terminology. So as I said, this is probably for you the easiest way how to work with AI assistants to show you how it looks internally. This is when you create a GPT assistant on top of ChatGPT, you can see how programming can be done today. Yeah? Every time you propose a Boolean string on LinkedIn, do it, each term is in parentheses. So the first, actually the first sentence is doing the trick, so the link is available in non-free version of LinkedIn. Otherwise, it wouldn't be working. So as you can see, AI on its own doesn't have this sourcing knowledge. Yeah? We had to put the sourcing knowledge into the assistant. Plus, of course, in the ChatGPT, you can also set different kind of parameters. If you want to allow the AI assistant to go, for example, to web, sometimes, and as you can see, I'm not allowing my assistant to go into web, because for me, all the data are already uploaded here. As you can see, even the Excel file is here, LinkedIn industry list. There is a list of industries from LinkedIn, which is something like 400 something items. So I can, for example, say, give me only candidates which are from defense industry. And it will go through the list as AI and choose the defense-related industries. So as I said, you can start, of course, this is more complicated to do it for sourcing, but you can, for example, start with doing JD for maybe creating assistants for your JDs. Yeah? So for example, this is assistant where you can see exactly the prompt. Your role is to act as a human resources marketer specializing in creating job descriptions. So basically the idea behind this is that you create a list of your JDs, which are created by you as humans. Those JDs are uploaded here into the Word document. So it looks like this. Simply put it into Word document, put it to the assistant, and then we are basically using AI to create a JD based on a few interviewing questions like, so the AI is asking me what role, I'm saying IT security engineer, what's the experience level, etc. So it will ask you a few questions, even follow-up questions if you don't do it properly, and based on that, it will create a JD which will be in the same tone of voice as your past JDs, including all these formalities as, for example, address and these type of things. Yeah? So even for little things, you can create an assistant to more complicated things. This is already the JD. And the final one are AI agents. Yeah? The fact is currently that most of us, we don't use AI agents. We mostly use AI assistants. What's the difference? It was already mentioned here before me that the AI agent should be more autonomous, yeah? And that's probably the way to describe it. Most of us use more like workflows. We use AI. You saw it in my agents. I use their AI. But the thing is that with my sourcing agent, I'm just generating links on LinkedIn. But the AI doesn't know how many people is on the LinkedIn in the search. There is no like feedback, so it doesn't know if the list of candidates is correct, for example. So AI agents should be more autonomous and should be educating. Yeah, should be improving based on how they work. And this is not there, or most of the time it's not there. So it's called machine learning, but as you can see, we still need to learn it. Not only orchestrate it, but we need to learn it. We need to give the knowledge somehow to the AI, even if, of course, as you can see, there is definitely a benefit from using that. The problem of why we don't have agents so much, I would say, is also that, imagine like ChatGPT, it's like you maybe use it on a website, on a mobile app, etc., but it's a closed environment. Yeah? I can create a link to LinkedIn on ChatGPT, but then I need to click on that link and I'm out of ChatGPT, and ChatGPT doesn't know anything what I'm doing there. So we need sort of like legs and hands going from ChatGPT, yeah, if I paraphrase ChatGPT as for other LLMs. So for example, in robotics, there are of course LLMs behind it as well, or other kinds of AI, but as you can see, it got hands, it can do different things. So maybe in robotics, for example, logistics agent, this is already more autonomous logistics agent, which is doing some things. By the way, this robot, I think, crashed after 20 hours of doing this, fell down and died, basically. Yeah, this is useful as well. Yeah, so this is maybe way to describe it, but how to give it hands and legs. There is a tool by OpenAI called Operator. Yeah, maybe when AI agents were published by OpenAI, they said, yeah, you need to have this tool. It costs $200. I don't recommend you to buy it, actually. But it works on the basis that you put there a prompt, and it got the legs and hands to go to TripAdvisor, to go through TripAdvisor, scrape whatever needs to be scraped, log in, and purchase, for example. Yeah, so as you can see, you cannot do that directly from ChatGPT. If you want to do things like that, I recommend a tool, Convergence AI. I think they were last month acquired by Salesforce, actually. So it's a Salesforce company. It's basically the same thing. It's Operator, but almost for free or for free. Yeah. So I can even say, for example, open LinkedIn and like and comment on the first 5 posts, skip the promoted ones, comment something personalized to the actual post. And it actually goes to my LinkedIn and create a comment on the top 5 posts on my LinkedIn feed. It took it maybe 1 hour, something what you would do in like 3 minutes. It takes a long time, but who cares? Yeah, I can say do it every day at 9 a.m. It will be doing that every day at 9 a.m. I don't care that it takes, for example, 1 hour to do that. So that's the idea, that it can log in for you, for example, to LinkedIn and do the things there. Of course, if you put it something more complicated like sourcing, find me CFO in Berlin and approach him or her with something, etc. Sometimes this is, as you can see, as it works, it's a little bit like it clicks on something and it needs to go back because it clicked on a different link, etc. Yeah, so as I said, it doesn't have the sourcing knowledge. Yeah, it's trying. It's reading what's written on the screenshot of LinkedIn, and it's trying to click the things, put the things there, etc. So from why haven't been replaced is maybe to when the recruiter will be replaced. But as you can see, it's also like the AI itself, the brain is smart enough already for a lot of things we do. But we don't have those integrations to different kind of tools. One way how to do that, I was showing you how to do GPT and ChatGPT. If you notice, on the very bottom of the ChatGPT configuration, there are actions. I can click on actions and put there some script. This script is, in this case, copy-pasted from a tool which is called Superface. Superface provides you with the possibility to connect ChatGPT, read the GPT assistant, or Claude as well. Of course, you can do the same thing on Claude. And you can connect it with tools like Google Calendar, Drive, Search, LinkedIn, and other type of tools. Yeah, so there is actually a way how to connect closed environment of ChatGPT with the real world. So with this, for example, you are now able to post from ChatGPT directly to LinkedIn. Of course, it got some disadvantages, images, etc. But practically, I'm able to say, create a post about something and post it on my personal account or post it on our company Good Call account. It will know that it needs to go there without actually opening LinkedIn.com or LinkedIn app. So this is one of the ways how to create a leg and hand for ChatGPT directly to connect it with, for example, Google email. Another way of connecting AI with maybe some familiar environment for you, as for example, as you can see, HR, they really like Excel, Microsoft Excel. So why not? Why not to use Excel? Excel got some great powers of, for example, doing some things when you need to do something in bulk, yeah? Not just one time, but bulk things. So for example, in this case, I scraped some GitHub developers, Python developers in this case, from GitHub. And on the very last line, I put there GPT. So as you can see, I got in my Excel or Google Sheet, I got GPT function there or AI function, depending on what tool do you use. So I can prompt directly in the cell of the Excel. So I put there compose an outreach message and invite this person for lunch. Yeah? So this message for Pavel is number 1, Pavel Romaro. So somewhere here, there would be the message. And then, of course, what you can do with Excel? Just take it through the corner, scroll it down, and it will create a message for all other hundreds of people automatically. Personalized message, it will automatically create the salutation, it will be correct, etc. So I can create this list, but now it's a question, okay, so I got a list of people, most of them got email address there, I got the body of the email, but now I need to send it. So depending on what you are used to use, by the way, these are the tools which you can use in Excel. Numeros AI, probably the most famous one. I was using GPT for Sheets and Docs because simply it was available sooner than Numeros, but at the end of the day, it's almost the same. So these are the tools. So I can say I need the Google Sheets code. So under Excel, but under Google Sheets, there is a scripting programming language as well, which you can use. Yeah? But of course, most of you, and me neither properly, cannot do this, or it would take a long time. So I will let the AI to do it. I need the Google Sheets code, which would take the text from column K and send it to email in column I. If there is no email, just skip it. So it will program for me a piece of code, which you will copy-paste, and put it directly into Google Sheets. And I just hit the run button, if you see the run button on top, and it will automatically send all the emails which you saw in the Google Sheets. If you use Gmail, you got limit 500 emails per day. So if you got a list, for example, of 400 developers, you can easily approach them without using any external tool. No MailChimp, no other like email sending tools, or like these dripping campaigns, etc. So with AI, you can do everything in one environment if you can do it. Of course, then if you want to make something more, let's say, complicated, you can use tools like NA10, Make or Zapier. Make is the former Integromat, if you know it, where you can connect different type of tools, including AI, but you can connect it with WhatsApp, for example, with Telegram, etc. So it depending on what you need to do. So, for example, with this, the problem is sometimes I was mentioning the tool MetaView. Is there someone who's using MetaView right now? Like for, okay, so yeah, there are some people. So automated notes from the interview. The problem is that when you do that, the transcription or the summary stays in MetaView. We want to download it, for example, to some central database, to our ATS. But the thing is that MetaView supports Zapier, one of these tools it was mentioned here. So I can connect it. So this is actually the summary from the interview. And I just click on copy Zapier, and I can send it literally to our ATS through Zapier, because our ATS and MetaView supports Zapier. So as you can see, this is sort of, I would say, obsolete statement now that AI will not replace you. A person using AI will. Why is it obsolete? Because we can see that the agents are probably going to some stage that for certain tasks, it will be completely automated in that way that we said it's self-educating, etc. Of course, the work of recruiter, if we break it down, can be fairly complicated. So it's not like easy like that to replace the full recruiter. Yeah, but we are talking interviews, we are talking sourcing, etc. But as it was mentioned here, we don't know what's the future, so calm down, be top of the game of AI, use it to your competitive advantage, and good luck.
I learned a lot of new things. I'm working with AI almost 24/7. I never used the Excel trick, so I'm going to use that once I'm back home. Love it. Hey, we got quite a few questions, but they basically boil down to the same thing. Are you going to share this goldmine of a presentation with the crowd?
Presentation for sure, yeah.
Good. Where can they get it?
I thought that the organizers is doing that, but yeah, whoever, just give me a shout out on LinkedIn, email, whatever. Yeah, I got a website as well, so it's really easy to find me.
We can find you anywhere. Good. Hey, any other questions from the crowd? Raise your hands. Is this because of last night? We have one here.
Hello, my name is Anya, and I have one question, actually not related particularly to this particular topic. But the other day, for example, I had an interview, and the entire time I had a feeling that the candidate is using some kind of AI tool, but I could not validate with any data. So do you know, is there any kind of AI tool that is developing or that there is in the market that maybe we can use? Thank you.
It's a real problem, especially on some markets. I can mention, for example, Accenture. They got 1 million more CVs to a big extent of AI. There are tools like AI Apply for candidates, and they use it in a way that they not only customize a CV for 500 different roles over one night, so it's really easy to apply, but also, if you got an interview, your question is going directly to LLM, and they got a small, in the corner right here, the answer to read. So, and
I think Cluely is doing that, right?
You mean the tool? Yeah.
Yeah, the tool, yeah.
There are more of them, like AI Apply is one of that, or you can do it somehow manually as well. So you are absolutely right, and the problem is that you cannot say it for sure, right? Yeah. So there are surveys, and recruiters are answering I have a feeling that there was something wrong. Yeah. Some tools I don't have I don't have the exact names, but there are some tools being developed against different things. Of course, you cannot, if the person is really not fake, it's a real person reading something, it's a different things. But especially against, because some candidates can really send a total avatar, or what's happening, augmented reality. There is a real person with a face of someone else, some real person with the knowledge to go through your interview, but with the face of that candidate applying. So there are being developed some tools which can, for example, detect that it's actually augmented reality. Yeah, but if some candidate is reading something like from the corner of, it's of course is difficult, and it's maybe more now up to a different like assessment which you go which you take your candidates through the recruitment process. Yeah.
And even if you ask them to share their screen, these tools are built to disappear once screen sharing is on. So also that is not
like
the way to get
show
there.
the location, and usually
Yes.
they got a problem with sharing, right?
It's a whole thing. So Google is actually now allowing people to use AI because you can't beat it. It's almost impossible to beat it. The market will be faster than we can figure it out. So they're going to work with AI tools anyway. So how can we spin it around and take a different perspective, right?
Yeah, real problem.
Good. Any other questions? All right, then I have, again, I'm seeing a lot of zeros. Thank you to our co-host Matcher, of course. Let's give it up for Matcher. And I made a bet with Rudy, who is the managing director here at WeAreDevelopers, that I would deliver the loudest stage in the conference. So can I do a little clip? And I really want the energy. Like, so far it was fine, but I want you to give it your all. Are you ready? I see some people walking away like, hell no, I'm not doing this. All right, let's try it. 1, 2, 3, whoa! Woo! I love it, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day.